So as you continue to develop your talents and to make your mark upon the world, remember that nothing worth doing is ever easy. You'll have bad moments. You gotta love what you're doing. And if you don't, just do something else. Keep standing up always for your values. Keep loving your country. And one of the most important things, never, ever quit. Never quit. Then ask yourself, what imprint will you leave in the sands of history? What will future Americans say we did in our brief time right here on Earth? Did we take risks? Did we dare to defy expectations? Did we challenge accepted wisdom and take on established systems? In my short time in Washington, I've seen firsthand how the system is broken. A small group of failed voices who think they know everything and understand everyone want to tell everybody else how to live and what to do and how to think. But you aren't going to let other people tell you what you believe, especially when you know that you're right. I know that each of you will be a warrior for the truth. You'll be a warrior for our country and for your family. I know that each of you will do what is right, not what is the easy way, and that you will be true to yourself and your country and your beliefs. Remember this, nothing worth doing ever came easy. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack courage or the guts or the stamina to take it and to do it. It's called the road less traveled.
Good evening, everybody. This is the 5th episode of Grassroots Live, and we thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to be going over your county government a little bit more in depth. Last week was a good intro. Tonight, we're going to break down a couple of those positions a little bit further. Before we get started, though, I do want to give a quick shout out to all of those who make this thing possible. So a quick shout out to Jeff and Shannon for all their hard work at the MG show. They kind of built the foundation to give us a platform to do this on every Monday. We got a lot of great shows out there. We got queued up in Gym Comms on Wednesday night at 7. We have Stefferty at 8 or 9 on Thursday night. We have Q Lounge Live Sundays, and then Monday through Friday, 12:05 to 2 with the main MG show. We're so grateful for all that everybody, the volunteers do, and all the people in the movement have put forth so much effort and information, and look at where we are now. Quick prayers for Catherine and Greg and all the hardships that they're going through, and we got a lot of patriots out there on the battlefield who are also going through some hard times. We just ask everybody keep them in your prayers and send them as much love as you can. And we got a lot of great mods that put a lot of time, overtime, and volunteer work in here. So you guys always give them shout outs. Make sure you're giving them the love they deserve. A lot of people work hard to make all this stuff happen every day. So that is our shout outs. Today is Happy Halloween. I'm not a big festive guy for the holiday, but I hope all you guys have a safe Halloween. Make sure that your kids are being good and checking their candy, not talking to strangers. Just be careful out there. The world is crazy. So tonight we're going to get started with the county governments. We're going to have a couple videos that are going to be fun throughout the show tonight to watch. That's going to give a little bit more creative idea of what everybody does, their positions, and the descriptions. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our slides tonight. And at the end of the show, we're going to have a couple forms that we will go over. Also, you can find the link for the Telegram chat. We will drop it. There is a Grassroots local channel, and that's where all of our shows will be dropped. Also, over on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel now. So please get over there, like, subscribe, leave us a comment. And we also want all of your criticism. Anybody who has ideas, thoughts, anything that we can do better, or criticisms, we want all that stuff. So please keep us in mind, take down notes throughout the class, and maybe get up with us at the end. We'd love to talk to you guys. We'll be bringing guests on every show, but this show we kind of had some issues come up, and we're not able to have a guest tonight, but we will be going over some little personal stuff here and there. But guys, we'll go ahead and get started without any further ado. So, your county governments. Your county governments are in charge of enforcing county and state laws and regulations. They provide public safety services to the people living in the county, including health care, sheriff and police protection, county courts, roads, and highway maintenance. The county is also responsible for registration and authentication of vital events such as birth, marriage, death records, and voter registration, and election administration. They are also responsible for issuing certified copies of documents to individuals or organizations when requested. County elected officials and offices include the county executive, the county legislature, the county. Let's see here. I think we're already on to the next slide. So, the officials here listed on this one are the executive, the county legislature and county council member, the district attorney, the sheriff, auditor, and the assessor. And if you're wanting to know more about your local elected officials, we have a website that you guys can go to. Eddie, Mike, if you want to cruise on over to the next slide. So, for your local positions, positions in government are often easier to campaign for and win than state or federal offices. However, they can be just as important to the lives and welfare of constituents. Here are some offices and positions that you may want to consider. If you are looking to start a political career of public service, consider running for these local government positions. Then we're going to have a good listing of all of those guys. So, in your local elected officials and offices, we have the mayor, the city council, the at-large councilman or councilwoman, the town council, alderman, the selectman, the precinct delegate, and the assessor. And I've got a quick note here. Local municipal governments are responsible for the governance of cities, towns, and villages. They oversee citywide developments that affect their citizens and manage local services like schools, water supply, sanitation, and etc. City and town government create local laws and regulations to improve economic development to make their municipalities more desirable to residents, taxpayers, and businessmen. They also provide public funding to maintain civic infrastructure, which includes roads, bridges, parks, and recreational centers. And Eddie, Mike, if you want to cruise on over to the next one. So, for your local board or commission, get appointed to a local board or commission. The easiest political offices to run for are those that do not require any campaigning at all. Elected jobs are not the only way to start a political career. There are many public leadership positions that are filled by appointment, such as local boards and commissions. There is often a need by local government to find qualified people to serve on boards. In many cases, you simply need to volunteer. Commissions and boards work on county or city issues and make recommendations directly to government officials and the public. The types of local boards and commissions include your school board, your zoning commission, the sewer authority, the water district boards, advisory boards, planning and committees, and specialized public service boards and commissions, such as the Illinois State Toll Highway Authority or the Chicago Transit Authority. Joining a local board will provide a terrific opportunity to get involved in your community. It can also introduce you to some new skills and teach you how the government works. You will be involved in running meetings, working with data, making public presentations, and writing reports and recommendations. It also involves learning more about various issues and the legislative process. As a member, you'll also have some behind the scenes influence. By being involved, you can build a network that can be useful when you make a move to elected local office. You will also learn about how various constituencies must work together to achieve adversarial goals. All righty, Eddie Mike. I think I'm ready to move on, sir, if you are.
Yes, sir. Is this the video here, or did you want to go on to
Let's
7?
see here. Hold on. I got too many things. I got screens, local school board and commissions. Eddie Mike is on. The best producer ever. Yes, sir. We have a video coming up, and it is going to be what does a county commissioner or council member do? So, yes, sir, Eddie. If you have the first video ready.
Let's visit the county commission or council office to see what they do. Most counties in Utah are governed by an elected group of 3 county commissioners. This is the most common and traditional form of county government administration in the state. However, a handful of Utah's 29 counties are governed by an alternative form of administration called a county council. Councils, which are also made up of elected officials, can have any odd number of members from 3 to 9 people who serve in that capacity. Commissions and councils are also a little bit different in that commissions oversee 2 important areas of responsibility within the county, while councils oversee one and the county must either elect or appoint an executive to handle the other. These 2 areas are known as legislative powers and executive powers. Legislative powers have to do with the county's ability to create laws and ordinances that are designed to protect the rights and well-being of citizens and property within the county. But they also have control over the raising and spending of county government funds for functions and services provided within its boundaries. Executive powers are more of the day-to-day decisions that need to be made to keep the county running. This could include supervision of departments, personnel issues, planning for improvements, reviewing expenses and performance, negotiating and signing contracts, and signing deeds, among other duties. While county commissions, councils, and executives have lots of supervision and oversight, it does not extend to other elected county officials, such as assessors, attorneys, auditors, clerks, recorders, sheriffs, surveyors, and treasurers. These officials must also answer to voters for their ability to perform the duties of their office. Commissions and councils are required to hold regularly scheduled meetings that the public is encouraged to attend. These meetings are an opportunity for citizens to learn more about and have a voice in things such as county budgets, laws and ordinances that are created, reports on current projects and future planning, appointments to committees, and many other items. Commissions and councils are just one important office at your county. Without their ability to oversee important legislative and executive responsibilities and decisions, it would be difficult for counties to move forward on policies and services that impact the lives of every citizen. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, the unifying voice for county government.
Awesome. So those guys do a really good job. That is the Utah Association of Counties. They have quite a few videos, and we're going to play a couple of theirs tonight. I think they did a great job. So we're going to get started back on with the slides, and for the running for county government is where we'll be picking back up. And so running for county government, here's how to get started. A county government is the local governing body that administers a particular county. It can be responsible for such things as law enforcement, public education, and road maintenance. In the United States, counties are governed by either a board of supervisors or a county commission. Its structure is typically governed by general state law, while some have local charters that outline their structure and powers. There are just over 3,000 counties in the United States. Louisiana and Alaska have equivalent county governments. In Louisiana, it is called a parish, and in Alaska, the borough. County governments are, let's see here. I think we're going to move on to the next slide. Well, there are thousands of local hold on. Yeah, I actually got a little bit more. County governments are typically organized in a hierarchical manner with the county executive at the top. This person is responsible for implementing policies formulated by the county legislature, which is made up of elected officials from each district within the county. There are thousands of local elections coming up this year. We've compiled a list of some of the major elected positions in county governments and their functions. All right, and so now we're on to the county executive. I think I'm one ahead of you, Eddie Mike. Sorry about that, guys. We're doing this one live tonight, and we did have some issues again. My fault. So, for your county executive, the county executive is the chief elected officer and head of a county government. The county executive is, in most cases, the highest ranking official in the county. As an executive, they are in charge of running day-to-day operations in their jurisdiction and enforcing the laws passed by the county legislature or board. A county executive typically holds significant power to make decisions that affect the entire county, but still must answer to voters who can vote them out of office. And give me one. So, Eddie Mike, did we skip a video already again? I think we're one running for county government.
Yeah, we got the run for mayor video that you wanted to play tonight. You still want to do that?
Yes, sir. And I'm trying to follow along on the 2 slides. So if we're coming up on a video, you might have to just chime in and remind me, or I can try to keep focus on all of it, but I've got too many things going right now.
It's all good. We'll do the mayor video right now.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for being here.
How to run for mayor. If you can't beat City Hall, why not join it? You will need a review of your city charter, friends, a petition, campaign staff and advisors, a platform, a website, fundraising ability, bulk email and bulk texting software, a media list, and public speaking ability. Optional, affiliations. Step 1. Review the city charter to determine what guidelines you will need to follow to run for mayor in your city. Step 2. Assemble a volunteer base by enlisting the help of your friends. Step 3. Circulate a petition to get your name on the ballot, making sure to collect the minimum number of signatures required by your city's charter, and then as many additional signatures as you can. Step 4. Assemble your campaign staff and advisors. You'll want people with specialized skills, but friends can help out too. Step 5. Develop the platform on which you plan to run. Study public opinion polls and talk to voters to determine the main concerns of the community at large. Step 6. Build a website to help you publicize your political positions and attract funds to run your campaign. Step 7. Develop a fundraising campaign to finance your run for mayor. Invest in bulk email and bulk texting software to reach the greatest number of potential voters. Connect with your local political party and other affinity groups for donations, endorsements, and volunteer support. Step 8. Compile a list of as many local media contacts as possible. Step 9. Schedule speaking events across the city. Invite your media contacts and be accessible for interviews. People will be more likely to vote for you if they can put a face to your name and feel like they know you. Did you know? In 1969, writer Norman Mailer ran for mayor of New York City.
All right. And so just a friendly reminder that everybody here is qualified. All these positions are filled with people that usually just here. And so hopefully through, our classes and through all the love that the family has, hopefully we can get all of you guys active and motivated and involved in your local boards so that we're actually making a big impact and reclaiming our government. So I do think we skipped ahead a couple of slides, and we're going to get on to the county legislature. And usually, guys, we do try to have on a couple different speakers, so it's not just me reading. But again, this show we're kind of winging this one, and any feedback we appreciate. So for your county legislature, a county legislator is a person who represents the people of a district within a county. County legislatures are responsible for voting on policies, managing the budget, and overseeing other aspects of local government. They are also responsible for overseeing law enforcement in their county, setting taxation rates, and approving the county's budget. And let's see here. We're going to move on to the sheriff. This is a big one. We also have the CSPOA website. And anybody that's not familiar, please get over there to Sheriff Richard Mack and get a couple of his books. They'll break down the sheriff, county sheriff, and their power, and how our relationship with them is so important. So, a county sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer in a county. They are responsible for upholding the law and protecting the people of their jurisdiction. County sheriffs maintain peace and order through patrols, investigations, and other means. In some cases, a county sheriff will enforce state laws as well as local ones. The office may also perform other duties, such as providing protection to judges as they travel between courtrooms and provide security at certain public events. Every jurisdiction has its own requirements for candidates to become a sheriff. Most jurisdictions require candidates to have at least some experience in law enforcement, perhaps as a police officer, or experience in the field of criminal justice. And so we have a couple little videos, one by the same Utah counties website off of YouTube, and then we have one from the CSPOA and our lovely producer. I think we're going to get those started now.
Let's visit the county sheriff's office to see what they do. The county sheriff is arguably the most visible among all elected officials because they, along with all of their duties, are out in the public ensuring public safety for citizens and visitors. Along with the sheriff's general qualifications to serve, they're required to satisfy rigorous annual training to maintain their certification. These skills prepare them for handling all sorts of physically and mentally tough situations all peace officers potentially face. There are 4 main areas sheriffs are responsible for, which are law enforcement, prison management, various kinds of civil duties, and involvement with certain emergency situations. Law enforcement has to do with their duty to keep the peace and make lawful arrests. By having a high-profile presence in the community, sheriffs and their deputies can create an environment of order and peace that helps citizens feel confident and safe. And when problems do arise, they're given the authority to protect and intervene for the public, preventing and investigating crimes in their county. Another significant job of the county sheriff is that of managing the county jail. This involves managing a trained staff and attending to all the physical needs of the prison population. But they're also responsible for transporting prisoners and, in some counties, developing rehabilitation programs and services that help inmates resolve issues that led them to where they are. Beyond that, sheriffs are also tasked with a variety of different civil duties. This can include courtroom support, serving legal documents, and helping citizens recover civil judgments. Finally, sheriffs in some counties manage several different emergency situations and personnel, such as wildland fires, search and rescue, and special tactical units and operations dealing with drugs, firearms, and even terrorism, to name only a few. Sheriffs are just one important office at your county, but thanks to their training and skill, the lives of citizens and everyone who visits the county are much safer. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, the unifying voice for county government.
Thank you, Eddie Mike.
And I think we're going to go right into another video on constitutional sheriffs and peace officers. And here we go. Let's run this one real quick.
As a sheriff of Arizona, I sued the Clinton administration and won a case at the United States Supreme Court. And that really prompted me to do what I'm doing today. And that is to create more constitutional sheriffs, constitutional local officials who adhere to their oath of office to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution. So I've started an organization called the CSPOA, stands for Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. We certainly invite all local officials to be part of that, not just cops and not just sheriffs. But the ultimate question in your county and in your city is, who's going to enforce all these mandates that are coming out of Washington, D.C. and the state capitals? Who's going to enforce stupid laws? And that's really the bottom line of tyranny. Who's going to enforce the law? When laws are completely contrary and contradict the Constitution and principles of liberty that America was founded upon, who's going to stop it? Well, you would hope and look towards law enforcement saying, I won't do that. I swore an oath to defend and protect and preserve the Constitution. So I'm not going to enforce laws that would infringe on those rights. And I just said infringe. The key word in the Second Amendment, that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So as a peace officer in the state of Arizona, or as a peace officer anywhere in the United States, I have to refuse to enforce gun control laws because I already swore an oath to defend the Constitution. You can't do both. And a lot of our officers today think they can and are trying to do that. You can't do both. You have to do one or the other. You have to side with freedom, or you can side with government. Well, right now we're having a drive in CSPOA for citizens to become life members of our constitutional posse. And so everyone can be part of this. We want sheriffs on board, we want county commissioners on board, we want city councilmen on board, we want local patrol officers on board. We want all local officials, dog catchers, military, but mostly we want we the people. We the people is the strongest and most powerful entity that we have in America today. We must be a part of this. And so anyone who signs up to become a member of our constitutional posse, whether you're a life member or just a yearly member, every one of you, we expect that you will become an ambassador for what we're trying to do. And that is protect, defend, and restore the Constitution as the supreme law of the land here in America. We need you and we want you part of this great movement.
Well, that was our lovely Richard Mack, and Sheriff Richard Mack. He has done a lot for the movement, and you can find him at the cspoa.org website, I think, and get a couple copies of his book, get familiar with it, give one to your sheriff, give one to your neighbor, and tell him to do the same. Get a couple copies, and give one to his sheriff, give it to his friend. And after about 25 copies sitting on the sheriff's desk, they usually start to, understand that we the people are the real power. So we got to educate them just as much as we have to educate ourselves. We're going to work our way back into the slides. And if you don't know your sheriff, you have to get to know them. You have to build that relationship. You have to become a face that they see at the meetings, they see in the community. And that's kind of how we do it, by example. So your city coroner is also a pretty big position. The medical examiner. A coroner is a medical professional who investigates unexplained deaths to determine the cause of death. The coroner will analyze the body and any other evidence from the scene. They interview witnesses to get a better understanding of how and why the person died, and will speak to medical personnel who may have been involved in treating the deceased before they died. The coroner's office may also perform toxicology tests to determine whether the deceased had substances in their system. A coroner often has some level of law enforcement training so they can testify in court. They may also serve as the county's medical examiner to determine cause of death. This position is one that I would say when we get into the higher echelons of society is probably one of the more abused positions, the coroner. I'd say they manipulate toxicology reports and cause of deaths. And oh my gosh, I'd say this one is pretty crooked across the slate. So something to look into, guys, for your community. All right. And we have next the Eddie Mike, whenever you're ready, sir. We'll be moving over to the county clerk position. So for your county clerk, the duties of a county clerk vary by jurisdiction. The county clerk is also the keeper of the records for a given county. County clerks are responsible for ensuring that all records related to a county business are properly filed, alphabetized, and preserved. The county clerk office may also be in charge of registering voters, issuing a marriage license, recording deeds and mortgages, filing liens, issuing licenses and permits. They also ensure that all debts owed to the county are collected and taxes owed by residents are collected. Depending on state law, county clerks can either be elected or appointed. And so those are good positions. In my county, the county clerk is appointed by the Board of Supervisors. So, that's a pretty important position that a couple of guys could elect and have their way with the old system. And so we have a nice little video to go over some of the county clerk stuff. And it is also by that Utah County's YouTube page, Eddie Mike, if you want to get it pulled up whenever you're ready, sir. Thank you all again for being here.
Let's visit the county clerk's office to see what they do. The county clerk wears lots of different hats, running elections, maintaining county records, issuing and recording marriage licenses, and helping citizens with passports. The right to vote is the central piece of living within a democracy and helps to preserve all other rights we enjoy as citizens of the United States. As such, county clerks are one of the gatekeepers of democracy, protecting the integrity and accuracy of elections. To do this, county clerks work closely with political parties and candidates running for office to ensure they have followed each step necessary in the process. Clerks also must determine the best methods and procedures for each election, such as in-person or by-mail voting. Running elections is a year-round process that starts in January as candidates begin to file paperwork to officially declare their intent to run for office. County clerks continuously track and update candidate filings and voter registration records to ensure every citizen is given the opportunity to cast a ballot. If a political party has more than one candidate for a particular race, a primary election is held. During a primary election, citizens get the final choice of who will represent each party in the November general election. In both the primary and general elections, county clerks are focused on fairness, efficiency, and accuracy so that elections can be officially certified and the voice of citizens can be heard. Along with elections, the county clerk is also the chief records holder of government-issued records and documents produced by the county. This includes all permanent records, such as contracts, meeting agendas and minutes, resolutions, ordinances, policies and procedures, fee schedules for each department, and public notices and noticing requirements. Because they are the keeper of all those records, clerks also manage many of the county's public record and information requests under the umbrella of Utah's Government Records Access Management Act, also called GRAMA. Clerks provide transparency to the citizens by working with individuals that request government records. They also direct and advise other county departments on retention of records and what information is public. One of the records county clerks issue and keep are marriage licenses. Along with the licenses themselves, clerks also have the option of officiating marriages ceremonies. Finally, clerks in most counties help citizens with passports by providing information, accepting applications, and then forwarding them to the federal government for approval. The clerk is just one of many important offices at your county, but without their ability to manage our election system, records, and other services, these important functions that protect our rights and access to information would be a lot harder. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, the unifying voice for county government.
Thank you for that, Eddie Mike. That was fantastic. And I love the little cartoon videos with the Grassroots Live and MG Show logos. It looks good, Eddie Mike. You're doing a fantastic job, sir. Thank you for all your hard work. So, guys, on the next slide, the county clerk's pretty big position and a pretty important one. And I'd say it's one that we're not very familiar with who our county clerks are. So that's one we have to learn a little bit about them. Whether they're on our side and they're holding the law to the T, or whether they're letting it lean, a little one way or the other. So we're going to move on to another big position in your community, the district attorney and prosecuting attorney. The district attorneys or state attorneys are the chief law enforcement officers in their jurisdiction. They also serve as the prosecuting attorney in county level or local courts. The district attorney's office is responsible for prosecuting crimes, conducting investigations, offering plea bargains, and litigating appeals. They are responsible for sentencing recommendations, seeking evidence, and presenting cases against suspected lawbreakers and defendants. Thank you, Eddie Mike. And I think we have a cute little video pulled up for the attorney, your county attorney as well. We did so good with the little videos this week, guys.
Let's visit the county attorney's office to see what they do. The county attorney oversees two important areas of legal representation for the county, serving as a criminal prosecutor and a legal representative in civil cases involving the county. Depending on the size of the county, some counties divide these responsibilities among the elected county attorney and one or more appointed deputy attorneys. Some smaller counties can also rely on prosecution and civil services from an appointed attorney who lives outside the county. As a public prosecutor, the attorney's main duties include the prosecution of people who violate county ordinances or state criminal laws within county jurisdictions. However, this doesn't include city infractions or misdemeanors, as those are handled by city attorneys. When an individual is accused of breaking a law within the county, it's the job of the county attorney to put on their criminal prosecutor hat to enforce the law, protect the due process rights of defendants, support the rights of victims, and do their best to provide a fair trial. That includes reviewing evidence, interviewing witnesses, meeting with representatives of the accused, and preparing for and conducting a hearing and/or trial. But county attorneys also provide civil legal representation and advice, and defend the rights of the county. This can include processing contracts and real estate transactions, offering advice about legal powers and duties, and providing representation in issues where the county must defend itself and its officials. County attorneys also provide other kinds of work, including assisting grand juries in deliberations, assistance in instances where property that has no legal owner, appearances before juvenile courts, and victim advocacy support and coordination. Attorneys are just one important office at your county, but without their knowledge and specialized training in matters of prosecution and civil law, it would be difficult to protect the rights and interests of citizens and their counties. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, a unifying voice for county government.
All right, Eddie Mike. That was another good little video from the guys over at the Utah counties. So let's see here. For the next slide, we're going to get into the county treasurer. We do have another video to come up after a couple slides on this. So for your county treasurer, They are the person who manages the financial affairs of a county or other local government. This includes collecting, safeguarding, auditing, and investing the county's cash held in trust. A county treasurer ensures that taxes are collected properly and funds are distributed in an equitable manner. The treasurer is also responsible for issuing bank checks to pay county expenses. And so let's see here. County treasurer. Yep, we got 2 more slides. All right, Eddie Mike. So some of those duties are the treasurer to collect and pay over taxes and levies, to keep account of receipts and disbursements, books open for inspection. Treasurers to collect all amounts to be received by any department or agency of political subdivision. To summon taxpayers and other persons, penalty. Authority to require production of sales and use tax information. The county treasurer also has the authority to require production of sales and use tax information, power to summon taxpayers and other persons, penalty, and the destruction of paid tax tickets, other tax tickets, and records. So they got quite a bit that they are able to do. So again, continued, they have the authority to destroy bonds and bond coupons which have been paid, procedure for destruction and certification, the warrants, record keeping requirements, release of information, how warrants are paid, receivable for levies. Treasurers may deduct any taxes due from party in whose favor the warrant is drawn, compacts. Statement of accounts of treasurer, audits of treasurers upon termination of office, county treasurer's annual settlements and final settlement, and the delivery of books, tax tickets, and other materials to successor treasurer of court clerk. And let's see here. I think we have a video now, Eddie Mike. If you are ready, sir, we got one more cool little video to watch, guys.
Let's visit the county treasurer to see what they do. Think of the treasurer as a banker for the county. Their main job is to maintain a personal connection with each taxpayer and every local government as they receive property tax deposits and safeguard that money until it's time to spend it. But they're also smart with the money, investing it responsibly and accurately until it's time to distribute it. Here's how the property tax process works. Property owners pay taxes on their land and buildings. For most, that means their house and land, but it can also mean land and buildings owned by businesses. Certain property owners can apply for discount programs called circuit breakers and abatements that are available to property owners who qualify because of income, age, or military service. Property owners can also appeal the value of their property by September 15th to ensure it's accurate and fair. Once the amount of property tax is known, based on approved budgets that each local entity must submit to the county treasurer sends out notices to citizens showing them how much they owe. These notices show taxpayers what their share of each entity's budget is. After a citizen receives their notice, they have several weeks before they need to pay it. Once the treasurer receives the tax payment from property owners and businesses, they divide it up among all the different local governments such as schools, cities, and special service districts based on their budgets. Special service districts provide specific services such as mosquito control, sewer, and water in certain areas that need them. In Utah, there are lots of kids, so schools get the biggest check. Along with the schools, cities, and districts, the counties themselves need money to operate, so the treasurer is also a banker for the county. They collect taxes to run each of the county departments, along with receiving payments from citizens for various county services. And as expenses are approved by the county, the treasurer's office ensures that checks are sent and bills are paid. Finally, the treasurer is an investor for the county. Rather than just let the county's money lie around collecting dust, county treasurers put that money to work in secure and responsible investments, which actually help create more money to pay for services. This saves taxpayers money, Treasurers are just one important office at your county, but without them, many important services provided by the counties and local governments, such as school districts, simply wouldn't have the money they need to work. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, the unifying voice for county government.
Well, that was fun. And again, thank you guys for being here. And sorry about some of the bumps we've had tonight. We'll get everything ironed out as we're going on through the show. Eddie, Mike, did you have something?
No, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, brother, man. And thank you, guys. So we got a couple more slides, and we got a couple of quick forms we'll go over to give you some examples. And I think that we'll be getting close to the end of the night. We'll have questions after that. But definitely want to give quick shout outs to, Jeff and Shannon for all that they do. Keep Greg and Catherine in your prayers, guys, and all of our other folks we got on the front lines in the battle. It's all about prayer. It's all about that good vibration and love and trying to build each other up. So thank you guys for being here as we're trying to iron out some of the details on this explosive new show, Grassroots Live. All right, Eddie, Mike. So for your County Board of Commissioners, this is towards the end of the night. It kind of wraps everything up. We got one or two more things to go over after this, but your County Board of Commissioners, it acts as a governing body for a county. The board sets policy, sets taxes, approves expenditures, and hires staff. Unlike most other forms of local governance, an elected board of commissioners both enact local ordinances and administer them. In other words, the Board of Commissioners acts as both the executive and legislative body. So this is a position that everybody here is qualified for, and I encourage everyone to start getting involved, trying to maybe get ready to become a chair or a seat on one of your boards. And so let's see here. We do have the county assessor left and one last video to go through. So for your county assessor, a county assessor is responsible for assessing the value of properties in the taxing area. They are responsible for ensuring that real properties are assessed correctly to produce fair and equitable tax rates. In making an assessment of value, an assessor takes into account the property's size, location, age, and quality. Assessors also provide assistance to the public, conduct property searches, and are responsible for maintaining records on all property within their jurisdiction. Again, this is a position in our county that it's not as manipulatable, but one that could be used a little bit against us. And we have a quick little video to go over it to make it fun. So thank you guys again for being here. Eddie, Mike, take it away.
Let's visit the county assessor's office to see what they do. The assessor has the very important job of calculating the fair market value of every property within their county. This includes land and buildings, known as real property. But county assessors also compute values for other kinds of property, known as personal property. Personal property includes business furnishings and equipment, motor vehicles, and manufactured homes. It sounds simple enough, but establishing a value that is both fair and accurate isn't easy because no two properties are exactly alike. In fact, county assessors complete special training and are required to be licensed to do their job. Imagine you and two friends go out to dinner. One of your friends orders a hamburger, another orders lobster, and you order a salad. The final bill comes to $50. To pay for the meal, it would be easiest for the waiter to divide up the total 3 ways. However, it wouldn't be fair to you because the value of the lobster is much greater than salad or even a hamburger. County assessors don't tell property owners how much they owe for property tax. But like a good waiter at a restaurant, it's the assessor's job to make sure everyone is given a fair value for their unique property. To do that, they use lots of tools to compare the similarities and differences of each property. These include maps and measurements, real estate sales information, and even aerial photography. These proven methods and techniques ensure that every property is assessed a fair and accurate value. Assessors frequently reevaluate property assessments because of the ups and downs of the market and changes to the properties themselves. For example, values tend to increase when there are greater numbers of buyers in the market or when the owner of a property decides to make improvements, such as remodeling, additions, or finishing their basement. Once values are established, they're multiplied by the local tax rate, which is set by local governing authorities, such as county legislative bodies, city councils, school boards, and special service district boards. Notices disclosing the assessed value, as well as tax rates, are sent to real property owners in July, and personal property owners at different times during the year. If the real property owner disagrees with the value of their property, they can file an appeal by September 15th each year, further ensuring the process is accurate and fair for everyone. Assessors are just one important office at your county. Without their training, expertise, and hard work, fairness and accuracy in property values would be impossible to achieve. Counties are a key part of every community, uniting local people with solutions to meet local needs. We're the Utah Association of Counties, the unifying voice for county government.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to the Utah Association of Counties. I found the page on YouTube, just as most of the other little videos, and I think they did a great job. There was a bunch of stuff that was newer, that was COVID related, election fraud friendly material. And so again, you can hop on people's YouTube pages and really see how the narrative shifts, as things heat up. But shout out to them. I think they did a fantastic job 5-6 years ago with all those videos. We definitely took advantage of them tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed all that. And the information, we're relating some pretty boring information, trying to tie it up with those little videos and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun to put it all together. And over time, I think we'll end up with a really effective system here of getting people trained up and ready to get out into their communities, taking action, taking over some of those positions. And that's really how we win this battle. So we're going to go over a couple of forms that are ones to use in Portage to Wisconsin to get in to run for your county clerk or to run, I believe, for, yes, the county clerk or the board of commissioners. So we'll go over those. Eddie, Mike. The first is a campaign finance registration statement, your CF1. You can find this form along with instructions for completing it at ethics.wi.gov. They are also available from the county clerk's office. The purpose of this document is to show how you will finance your campaign and if you plan to form campaign committee. And so that, yes, this is for your board of commissioners, board of supervisors, that position. The CF1 should be filed with the county clerk's office before you circulate your nomination papers or expending any campaign funds. If you spend less than $2,000 on your campaign, you are exempt from campaign finance reporting. All right, Eddie, Mike, and whenever you're ready to move on to the next one. And so a lot of times, it's we look at the other races, for governor, we're talking, what is it, $300 million they spent on the Kerry Lake's Republican primary opponent, whereas we keep it under 2,000. And in realistic, my county, probably I could manage that under $2,000 and get a board position. But when you get into the bigger areas, you're having to write off things and stuff like that on your taxes and spending gas just alone to get around to knock on doors. It becomes more of an issue. So signs also, things like that. So to continue, the next step and form is Form EL-169, the nomination paper for nonpartisan office. This is the form that you will collect signatures from residents in your supervisory district. Basically, you are asking individuals to request that your name appear on the ballot. Your name, address, municipality, the position for which you are running, and district number appear at the top of the form. there are spaces for 10 signatures on the form. You can photocopy the form as many times as you wish. How many signatures to collect? In counties with populations under 100,000, Columbia County's population is 58,490. You need to collect between 20 to 100 signatures. You want to collect a significant number such that if a signature is challenged, you will still have a sufficient number to have your candidacy approved. All right. And I think we got one last slide for the night, guys. So the next and final form is your EL 162, the Declaration of Candidacy. The point of the form is just as its title says. You are declaring your candidacy for office, affirming your address, and certifying that you meet or will meet age, citizenship, residency, and voting qualifications at the time you potentially assume the office. So for our slides tonight, that is going to be the end. We have a couple other forms that we're going to pull up here and show you what the actual forms look like. And I think they are from Arlington County, Virginia. They're pretty similar to the ones that we just went over. But I learned a lot to go, over the past few weeks about how my county works, some of the positions, who's pulling more weight around things that I didn't realize. And so it's been really informative for me to just get out and really try to crack down some of the information and put it on slides and go through it and have some fun trying to do it. YouTube has been a great resource. The greenpapers.com has been the best resource that I found so far. It's where I've gotten most of my information to do all the slides and stuff. But it's definitely been a lot of fun for me. And I think, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep asking for volunteers to come up and speak and read. We definitely had some lined up tonight, but we just had a lot of issues come up with the slides. Things just got a little hectic, so we didn't have it set up to really give it to others to read and possibly make a disaster. So sorry, guys, for the bumps tonight, but I promise it'll all get ironed out over time, and we're going to have a lot of fun educating each other and trying to build up our communities so we have a little bit more power in some of the choices. And I think it's happening. I think we see it everywhere. We're just one little small step ahead of the game. Everybody else is following right behind us. So I think we're setting the precedent. We're setting that the people need to know what they're talking about, that they need to know how the strings are being pulled, whose purses the money's going to. And so I think we're setting a good example for the others who will be coming up behind us. So your community needs you, your board needs you, and they definitely need you in the meetings. So whatever we can do to get you there, guys. Thank you all, though, for being here and listening tonight. So this is for the Virginia Department of Elections, how to run for county board in Arlington County. This is from 2020 special edition. Eddie Mike, if you'll get us into the form there, sir. And I just pulled a couple of these up. This isn't a county that close to me. It was just one that I could find online. So for the definitions, and we're going to go over this stuff. I mean, this is a class where we're meant to be going over this boring stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're getting ready to go up on an hour now, which is kind of what we were shooting at, but usually we've been running over quite a bit. But that's okay with me. Again, shout out to all the wonderful people. Eddie Mike's the best producer in the world. Aside from Wet Yeti, he is the best first. Eddie is the best second. For definitions and key icons. We have a political party, and that is defined as an organization that, at either of the two preceding statewide general elections, received at least 10% of the total vote cast for any statewide office filled in that election. Currently, only Democratic and Republican. So a non-primary party candidate is an individual who is seeking the nomination of a political party by a means other than a primary. Speak with the party. An independent, an individual who is seeking to run in a general election without the nomination from the Republican or Democratic Party, may include a recognized party or no party. Qualified voter. This is important. A person who is entitled to vote under the Virginia Constitution is properly registered to vote. Virginia Code is the VAC, Virginia Administrative Code. Writ of election is a legal document issued by a judge ordering an election. Comet is a database for candidates to file, and the Department of Elections to track campaign finance. It's pretty important. All right, so Eddie Mike, I think we can go ahead and get on into this one. And this is just from the Arlington County Board of Elections. So, how candidates get on the ballot in Virginia. Follow these instructions to get on the ballot for the county board in Arlington, Virginia, special edition on July 7th, 2020. Do you fulfill the basic qualifications to be a candidate? You have been a resident of Virginia for 1 year immediately preceding the election. You are a resident of Arlington County, and you are registered to vote in Arlington County. Did you guys see just how stringent those qualifications were? There were 3 of them. Isn't that awesome? All right, Eddie Mike, let's keep going, guys. I hope everybody's finding that calling. All right, this table is a summary for more information below. What do I need to file? A certificate. These are the papers that you need to file. And we have the notes or other information on them. Where do you need to file those forms? And when does this filing open? And then what is the deadline? That's not important today. So what do I need to file? The certificate of candidate qualification of local office. Let's see here. That is filed in Arlington County General's Registered, postmarked by deadline if sent registered or certified USPS mail. When does filing open? Non-primary party and independent candidates has to be filed Friday, April 24th, before the election year. And so for the second one, the second thing that you need to file to get registered is the statement of economic interest of local office. It only applies to certain candidates. Where do you need to file that? You need to file that with your general registrar. It needs to be postmarked by the deadline if sent registered. Non-primary party. When does the filing open? It opens when the non-primary party and independent candidates Friday, April 24th. So the declaration, another thing that you need to file is the declaration of candidacy. You submit it with the petitions of qualified voters. And I think that's about all we need to get out of that one. So thank you, Eddie Mike, for being so amazing. Do we have another slide, or is that it?
Yeah, there were several more in that one, but do you want to go on to the next link?
Oh, I had to cut my mic off. Sorry, guys. Yeah, let's see what else we have in that one. Hey, Mike, we might just breeze through it. I don't think we're going to go over it in detail. We've been through that one pretty good, but we'll just check. My mic is working now, right?
5-5.
You are a great producer, Eddie Mike. Thank you guys for all being here. Thank you for what you do, sir. So yeah,
It's awesome.
Meter, yes, he is. So we have a couple more forms that we're going to be going through tonight, but we're getting pretty close to closing the shop down. Guys, it's been a lot of fun, and I do enjoy doing this every week, and we got a great team. We will have a very well-produced, well-oiled machine by the time it's all said and done. I'm very certain of that. So this is and this is the one that we were just reading about. This is your certificate of candidate qualification of local offices. And so some of the things we're just going to breeze through. And I know a lot of people have probably seen this stuff on your, 1099s or whatever other things you're filing. It's about the same kind of information. We're just going to kind of go through it to give you an idea of what it all means. And so, Eddie Mike, I mean, we just the regular stuff. I'm a citizen, at least 18, a resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Then you list your address, county, um, registered to vote and reside, convicted of a felony, mentally incompetent. I mean, this is really the qualifications to get into these positions, guys, is very, very minimal. I mean, just giving up, it's all about sacrificing. That's how freedom was obtained for the first time in history. It was at the sacrifice of all of our founding fathers and all of the great people who fought for that idea. So it's the same on us. I mean, we have to get out and sacrifice our time and effort to fill these positions, and that's how simple it is for us to win this. So, how candidate names may appear on the ballot, the criteria: first name or initial, familiar form, middle name, nickname. Notes: title do not include a title before or after the name. I mean, this is all just basic stuff. Nothing here, nobody could go over within a couple seconds and pretty much get it done. Social security number is part of your official voter record. It's required on this form, but that's just to make your ID. Then just mail it back, and that's it. I mean, it's really that simple, guys. So I'm definitely going to be running for my board when the election comes back open in 2 years, I believe. So, and how crazy! My buddy's name is literally Robert Eugene Williams Jr. How insane! One of my best friends. I just noticed that. How weird. I will send that to him. So this is another one of the forms, the Declaration of Candidacy. And this is one of the ones that we just went over on the requirements. Pretty basic stuff. And choose your party, the district. Let's see here. I'm a candidate in a primary. I'm defeated in the primary. My name is not printed on the ballots to be used, blah, blah, blah. Then you have to have some witnesses. But I mean, it's really just pretty basic stuff. So we kind of went through a little bit of the positions. We'll continue to pull topics. Want everybody to kind of provide us with some ideas on material content to go over. If you have questions about certain topics, if you're not sure of what certain positions do or how to get into that position, or if you're having issues with a certain department of your community offering resistance. And I mean, there's still some more petition for qualified voters, but we want you all to become active. We want to get you to understand what all this stuff means. And me, myself personally, I've been active for a while, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was not as effective as I will be after a couple more months of doing this. And so I'm honored to be able to come out here every week and do this with such a great team, such a great producer, such an amazing platform that the guys have all provided us. But I am in that millennial age range to where I'm looking into the future, and the only option is that we get involved. And so the faster we do that, the faster that we can rewrite the ship and start to maybe bail some of the water out of it. So I do offer a lot of encouragement and maybe even a little bit of let's get it done. So, guys, thank you all for tuning in. This one we have for the Virginia Conflict of Interest and Ethics Advisory Council, State and Local Statement of Economic Interests. There's a little bit more information in here, but this is just basics. Let's see here, Eddie Mike, what you got? Yeah, and I just put on some more, a lot of those forms that were attached to. This is just one more that you need to go through to get on the board. Or I think this one might be. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. And so we'll go over this just a little bit. The advisory agent, the business, close financial associate, contingent debt. I'm not sure what in the world. This is 25 pages too, guys. So I don't think we're going to, Eddie Mike, I think we're going to act like that. We didn't mean to pull that one up. But guys, thank you all for tuning in each week and being here with us on the off time, helping us carry the conversation and introducing the content to the new people that come in, not sure what to do, not sure where to go. I think the MG Show chat that we have here offers a great home for people that are coming out of the darkness and coming out of the crazy, hectic world that we all once lived in. So thank you all again. Thank you, Eddie, Mike. Huge shout out to Jeff and Shannon. Huge shout out to all the mods putting in the effort every day, and all the patriots that we have here, man. I mean, so many wonderful people spend so much time with us. We've built such a family over the past 2 years. Almost been 2 years, guys. How crazy! So I'm just humbled every day, honored, and I would love to say a quick prayer. Everybody, if it offends anybody, please, just tune in. This is all just like Queued Up says, we respect everybody and their beliefs, and their these are just some beautiful. I wouldn't say beautiful words. I didn't have anything prepared tonight, but Eddie, Mike, I would like to try to get a prayer included into the show. I think that's going to be something that we really have to build from. So, everybody, just real quick, if you'll bow your heads with me, we go before the Lord. Heavenly Father, we've come before you today and ask that you just keep your hedge of protection over Greg and Catherine as they're dealing with some pretty hardships that you've put in front of them. But we know that you have given them what they are 100% capable of handling. We ask that you just continue to guide the ones who are working with them so that they may get them on the right road, and continue to guide them to make the choices that they need to make. And continue to don us all in your armor as we walk out onto the battlefield every day. Give us your blessings, your abundance, your grace. And thank you for the family that you've given us all to come home to and spend this time in this beautiful moment in history, Father. And in your heavenly name, amen. So, guys, I just really thank you again. This is episode 5 of Grassroots. When we're at episode 50, we get to look back and say, I can't believe we've come this far. So, it's a beautiful time to be alive. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hour and 12 minutes over. Sorry about the couple little issues that we had, but thank you all for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everybody, we do have an email for contact information if you want to, send us some information or contact us about possibly being a guest on the show, giving us your what you've done in your local area and just sharing your information and stuff. That would be great. It is grassrootslive@proton.me. If you're not on Telegram, and if you are on Telegram, you can just contact Zach or myself through Telegram. But if you're not, we do have that email that you can just contact us via email and let us know what your ideas are, or if you would like to come on and share your testimony and what seats you've picked up, or what you're going after, or however you're getting involved. I mean, Grassroots is a lot more than just the topics that we're covering here. It's getting involved in your neighborhoods, talking to your neighbors. I mean, it really does start on that local of a level right in your backyard and goes up from there. So we got to get out there. We got to start getting involved and being a part of our communities. That's something we've missed out a lot on in the past many years, and that's how they've been able to completely just do what they do to us. So yeah, contact Zach or I here on Telegram. If you're not on Telegram, you can contact us at grassrootslive@proton.me. And thank everybody for being out here tonight.